Listen, I've never been a Timothée Chalamet girly, but Wonka may have changed that for me. I fully watched the movie for the meme.
You see, I'm something of a magician, inventor, and chocolate maker. So quiet up and listen down. Nope, scratch that, reverse it.
I genuinely did not expect myself to enjoy it as much as I did. You know what else I didn't expect? I didn't expect it to be a musical. Where in the trailer did we get that this was a movie musical? In all 2 minutes and 27 seconds of the trailer, the only song we hear is Pure Imagination. Even when we see snippets of dancing, the trailer tells us it is simply a daydream from Willie.
And you can't sell chocolate without a shop.
No daydreaming.
I want to emphasize that Wonka was a great movie, but it was odd thinking I was going to go see a movie with maybe a song or two, but it's a full-blown musical. I mean, there's over 10 songs in this movie. I've seen other comments from people that it was obvious this was going to be a musical. People complaining they didn't know Wonka is a musical clearly forgot that the original movie with Gene Wilder was indeed a musical. You can't be that shocked. Oh, but I was. I mean, despite it having a few songs, I wouldn't consider Johnny Depp's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory a musical. This film never even explicitly said that it was the prequel to Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And again, this trailer is to blame for the lack of clarification. At first, I thought it was a bit odd that they marketed it that way, but then I remembered how I felt after watching the Mean Girls trailer when it came out nearly 2 months ago. Now, I'm a big fan of Renee Rapp.
My name is Regina George, and in case you're keeping score, Katie may have won the battle, but I will win the war.
Whoa. What are the odds that the two leads I'm talking about each have an E acute in their name? I mean, obviously they're icons. Anyways, I've known Renee would be playing Regina George in this new Mean Girls film since around December of last year. I also knew that she played the same role in the Broadway adaptation of Mean Girls until Broadway shut down due to COVID. So yes, the new Mean Girls movie you've been seeing the trailer about is the 2017 musical adaptation, not an exact remake of the 2004 film. But the trailer for it would make you think otherwise. With Olivia Rodrigo's song Get Him Back playing in the background, which also has nothing to do with the music in the movie, an average person would assume this is simply a modern-day remake of a classic movie. Also, this isn't your mother's Mean Girls.
Oh, hell no!
Come on. Mean Girls will be 20 years old in April. That line just doesn't seem to hit the movie's target audience. I grew up watching this movie, and even if the people around my age are parents, they have babies, not middle school age children that will be going to see this movie. I mean, that's still true for people that are like 5 to 10 years older than me. I don't get this line. Anyways, if you watch the 2-minute and 5-second trailer very closely, you'll see about 7 seconds worth of clips that show the musical numbers. But again, Olivia Rodrigo is playing in the background, which is not one of the 21 songs within the musical. What I find so frustrating about the way they are making these trailers is I fully believe it's taking away from what these films are. What's so wrong with musicals that we have to hide them being musicals in the first place? The Mean Girls trailer makes it seem like an unwanted and horribly done remake of a cult classic, when in reality, the casting is something to be excited about, and the musical is definitely enjoyable. As I mentioned, Renee Rapp will be playing Regina George. Sexy, bisexual, and the vocal cords of a goddess? I mean, she's a perfect casting. Anjari Rice will be playing Katie. I mean, I've only seen her in the Spider-Man movies, but I'm excited to see her in this. Christopher Brinley, or as we all know him, Conrad Fisher, will be playing Aaron Samuels. I mean, hey, if Cameron Dallas can do this role, I'm sure Christopher will crush it. Hopefully he'll actually sing Aaron's part though. Tina Fey will be playing Miss Norbury, and Tim Meadows will be playing the school principal, as they both did in the original film. Ashley Park, who played Gretchen Wieners on Broadway, will be featured in the film. We saw her in the trailer as the French teacher. She's also been in Joyride, Emily in Paris, Beef, and Only Murders in the Building. Jenna Fisher, the ever so iconic Pam Beesly from The Office, will play Katie's mom. Busy Phillips, who I know as Kim Kelly from Freaks and Geeks, will be playing Regina's mom. Auli'i Cravalho, the voice of Moana, will be playing Janice. I mean, that's iconic. To say I'm excited about this movie would be an understatement. But according to Pop Crave, this shady advertising is on purpose. Studios are avoiding marketing musicals as such due to feedback from test audience focus groups. Deadline reports test audience focus groups generally hate musicals, and the only way to get people into the theater with one is to trick them. Seriously? You're telling me this supposed test audience focus group who hates musicals so much would stay in the theater once the singing begins? The faulty advertising wouldn't annoy or piss off people who hate musicals? Or does that not matter because they've already bought the ticket? Also, not all musicals do badly, even when advertised as musicals. La La Land and The Greatest Showman did amazing at the box office. In an attempt to be fair though, In the Heights, West Side Story, and Dear Evan Hansen flopped. I loved In the Heights, personally, but the other two, I didn't finish either of them. But I do truly believe they didn't just flop because they're musicals. I love the Dear Evan Hansen show. I didn't love 27-year-old Ben Platt playing a high school senior. I also put a lot of blame towards the pandemic, as those 3 movies were released in 2021. I mean, I wasn't going anywhere near a movie theater at that point. Hollywood's deception in how they've been promoting movies like Wonka and Mean Girls is also upsetting for fans of the musical genre. I mean, I'm a huge fan of musicals. I saw Mean Girls in Chicago in January of 2020. So why can't the movie be advertised towards people like me? Why can't they be truthful? This post on Reddit is in reaction to Deadline's claim and is exactly how I've been feeling about the situation. That's so stupid, especially in the case of Mean Girls. The entire point of the movie is to make a film version of the musical. By deliberately hiding the actual musical part of it, people are just going to assume it's an inferior, pointless remake of the original movie and stay away. At least with Wonka, nobody was expecting it to be a musical in the first place. But with Mean Girls, that's the whole freaking point. On Twitter, Kurt Mega says, "I'm sorry, but both Wonka and Mean Girls completely obscuring the fact that they are, in fact, musicals is, at best, short-sighted and, at worst, potentially false marketing. Why are you hiding it? The Mean Girls trailer has zero indication, so it just seems like a bizarre remake. Why are we tricking people into going to see a movie that they've already admitted they won't like?" As Tia writes in her article on Medium.com, as we navigate a landscape of increasing cinema costs, transparency in marketing becomes crucial for building trust and ensuring an enjoyable experience for moviegoers. The only good reactions I've seen to the trailer are people who know it's a musical and are rightfully in love with Renee Rapp. If you don't know it's a musical, it seems like an absolutely garbage remake that nobody asked for. Now, although I think it was a giveaway in the title, a lot of people experienced the same issue when they saw Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbirds Snakes. Again, Ballad, Songbirds, it's in the title, but it's also true that the trailer didn't show its multitude of musical numbers despite being 2 minutes and 48 seconds long. We see Lucy standing in front of a mic with her guitar for less than a second at the 2-minute, 5-second mark. And for my final example, The Color Purple. Again, a more obvious hint at it being a musical, But for those that don't already know about the Broadway show, the trailer isn't incredibly obvious. At least for this one, we do hear a number from the show. Fantasia is singing I'm Here throughout the trailer. At the 1 minute and 44 second mark, we actually see her singing it. And the clips following show more dancing and singing. But that still took nearly 2 minutes. I'm going to leave it at this Reddit post. Hollywood. Musicals are unpopular and everyone hates them. Warner Bros. Let's release 2 musicals over the holiday window and have them both overperform and dominate Christmas box office season. So, what do you think? Does it matter that these movies are being advertised so sneakily? Is it worth increasing your audience if that isn't your ideal audience? If you enjoyed this short and sweet video, please give it a thumbs up. I am so excited to see more and more subscribers coming in and enjoying my content. Thank you so much for supporting me. I hope 2024 is your best year yet. Okay, bye.